And we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Aranthea's Awakening, a D&D 5e live stream hosted by yours truly, Arch. Hi, how's it going? This is my stream. Welcome. So, I'm going to go around, introduce everybody and who they're playing. I'm going to do a quick recap of what happened last time, and then we will get into the meat and potato of things. But first, let me get some music going.
Oh my god, why do I have so many stream dice?
Because you're a hoarder.
I am not. I always use mine.
Because we all got like 4 last time.
Oh, it was like towards the end of the combat.
That too.
Oops.
Alright, so, to give, introductions first. So, let's go around and find out who everybody is and who they're playing, starting with Kyle.
Hi, I'm Kyle.
Yeah, that's me. I'm Kyle. I'm playing Shiara. She's a witch.
Oh, no. It's a Worcerer.
She's a witch.
Worcerer, it sounds better. And Neil.
Neil, I play Ilo. He's small.
He's the smallest boy.
Small little lizard boy.
And Onyx.
I'm Onyx. I play Zai. He's my Rune Guard fighter.
And in case you didn't know, I'm Arch. Hi. How's it going? So, to give a quick recap of what happened last time, you guys had found yourselves with a newly acquired keep after clearing the curse and the evil resident within, only to find that there was a city that was buried beneath the sand that had been brought up as kind of like a gift to you guys from the previous residents. You went into the city, found Shiara after losing your dear friend Eli. Had the tribe of the Bulwark making their way up the bluff towards you after a few days trying to get yourself acquainted with this new keep that you find yourself possessing. The chieftain and archdruid of the tribe essentially claimed that you guys were outsiders who had no place belonging here. You guys had an argument about the fact that you guys technically do own the keep by rights of owning the deed. There was a challenge of rights where you guys had to go hunt down a sand shark. You took along a young man named Estrel, who was a up-and-coming but somewhat timid barbarian who seemed to have a bit of a more honorable head on his shoulders. You guys went out, had a very fierce battle with the sand shark, and made your way back. You found yourselves dealing with the fact that the tribe still refused to seemingly accept your proof of deed. The archdruid, however, seemed open to it. The chieftain and the archdruid had a fierce debate in their tent, which Ilo had very sneakily snuck into and basically spied on and learned what was transpiring. You had a fierce, honorable duel against the chieftain and a few of his men versus the three of you, Estrel and the archdruid on your side. The battle was fierce, Zai going down a few times due to the chieftain's extreme disliking of him, we'll say.
And the uselessness of the archdruid.
That, a little bit of that too.
Yeah.
After the fight, Estrel became the chieftain by the proclamation of the archdruid, as he had proven himself in combat against the chieftain, the sand shark, and proven to be a very fierce combatant as well.
Shiara took a new title for herself.
Shiara did take a new title. Trying to look very timid with the bulwark that weighs near as much as her, it felt like.
Ilo tried to get a new title. Vanquisher of Dwarves.
Yep.
I've got like 5 of those at least.
Uh-huh. You guys then were able to essentially get the Tribe of the Bulwark to move into the keep as both residents and protectors. I unveiled the concept of mechanics of how running the keep is going to work. There is a handout, which I will show to you lovely stream people that I did, which basically has all the logistics and details of the keep, the tribes, the citizens, and what's currently going on. And it's going to be Onyx's job to maintain that.
Yay.
He wanted to do it.
Among the list of things that needed doing, there was the issue of the river, which should be flowing through the land around the bluff itself, dried up about 80 years ago. You set out, leaving Estral in charge, and after a day of travel and a single night of camping, you found that there was a large hole that seemed to be man-made, dug with tools and whatnot, that is siphoning the river underground. And that is where we find ourselves. So, you guys had made the decision to climb down the hole in order to find out where it is the river is being siphoned off to. You guys are currently standing at the edge of the hole. How do you plan on getting down?
Water slide.
Anything to tie a rope to.
There are a few rocks that are in the area that you could possibly tie it off to. If you have any pitons in your inventory, that would probably work as well. You could just hammer that into the ground. Water slide is an option. You will probably have to make a roll to avoid hitting anything when you land in the water.
40 feet down.
Yep.
Okay, what's in an explorer's pack?
Oh yeah, part of last F session, we also learned that Shiara has an AC of like 11.
10.
10. Excuse me.
It's 10 because I haven't let him live that down yet.
Shut up, Neil. If I'm reading this correctly, then I could just featherfall all of us down there.
That is certainly an option, yes.
Yeah, but then how are we gonna get out?
Okay.
Okay.
Listen, I'm assuming that this is gonna be like a Skyrim dungeon, and there's like an exit, like an easy out exit.
There's a thing on the wall that you press, and then it opens up.
The world map.
Yeah, exactly.
It opens up a secret stone door that was at the beginning of the thing, but you didn't know that it was a door
Yeah.
when you first passed it. Ooh.
Kyle, I forget that I have not DM'd for you yet.
I want to tie a rope to a rock.
Okay.
I want to check the rock first, make sure it's not gonna like fall on top of us as we climb down.
Oh, thank you for the follow, Lash LaRue. I appreciate it. You're gonna check the rock to make sure that it's secure?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, just give me a roll for me.
A strength check.
Make sure that it's heavy enough. Sure.
Yeah, try to shake it, see if it moves.
I'll take it.
That is a 12.
Sure. Giving it a nudge with your arms and kind of giving it a jerk. See if it will actually move. It seems pretty sturdy. You're just gonna have to be very careful that maybe one person at a time goes down. Just to be on the safe side, but...
Do I see any bigger rocks?
Yes.
I want to try a bigger rock. Is the bigger rock sturdier?
Yes.
Sweet, I want to tether up to that one so we can all use it.
Alright.
I really wish I had taken a different cantrip right now. I really thought about it, but
Alright, so you take your rope and tie it off to this rock. And it seems sturdy, seems strong.
Okay, sweet. Are you two ready to go?
I'm on your shoulders.
I look up to you. Just alright, Isla.
I'm ready when you are.
Shy about you.
she's just kind of like looking down the ledge and just kind of looks back up. I suppose so. Hey, let's go.
And with that, I'm gonna climb down the rope.
Since you guys are not in any rush, I'm not going to make you make any rolls. If you, for some crazy reason, need to scramble up this rope, then maybe that'll be a different story. But you guys make your way down. Takes you about maybe 10 minutes or so of slowly climbing down, making sure to keep your footing, making sure you're not...
It takes Shiara like half a second, because she probably falls.
Is that...
Nope. I'm just saying, she real not strong.
Zai helps her down by giving her footholds.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that you guys are going down slowly so as not to fuck up and fall. Making your way down, you find yourself... Let me change to music. You find yourselves at the bottom of this 40-foot hole. It is a bit darker down here. There is a little bit of sunlight streaming in from above. However, the angle of the sun doesn't give you much to work with. You can see that from where you are standing, the tunnel that the river is flowing through seems to be going in a general south direction. It is not nearly as big as the hole itself is, maybe 20 foot high, about 15 feet wide. And the water is flowing very quickly and very heavily down the center of this tunnel. Notably, there is a kind of rough-hewn walkway that is going along either side of the river. It's pretty narrow. You're gonna have to go single file in order to make your way along this. But it is traversable.
Okay.
Shara looks down this hallway, tunnel, whatever, and she'll turn back to Zai and Ilo. Can you two see in the dark? Or do you need to make a torch or something?
As long as I have these goggles on, I can see just fine.
I can see.
Oh, okay, very well.
It's useful having dark vision on everybody.
Uh-huh.
Well, seeing how well it went last time that I went first, I think somebody else should go ahead of me.
Well, that basically just leaves me, because I've never seen Isla walk anywhere.
Yep. No argument.
That's not true. You saw him walk into the tent. Oh no, you did because he's invisible.
No, he's invisible.
It stands. You have not seen him.
Okay. So Zai with Ilo on his shoulder are going to go first.
Alright. So, you make your way following along this river pathway. Make me a perception check, please.
Just him or all of us?
Just Zai, since he's heading this.
Oh my god.
Ilo's heading it as well.
Starting off to a bang.
That is fair. Ilo, you can make one as well, because you are on his shoulders.
Do better than a crit fail.
Oh, there it is. I couldn't find it for a second. I'm retarded. 5.
Oh my god.
Well,
That's
you did better than the one.
Both of us are like, I can see, and then we're just not looking at anything. We're just walking and not paying attention to anything.
Zai's over here going, wow, it's dark and I can see my hand.
So the two of you taking the front of this group and making your way down, the stone around you seems rough-hewn, but it looks like this has also been worked at least to a somewhat comfortable level. At least it looks like it was made at least for traversing to and fro. The river itself seems to be running along a very well-chiseled canal going through the stone, however. This looks like the very important part that the attention was paid to. You don't really notice much else beyond that, though. It's dark, it's stony, there's really not a whole lot of diversity down here. At most, Ilo, you see what looks to be just a single mushroom that seems to be poking out of a crevice in the wall. It looks to be a pale white mushroom with purple spots on it.
Have I eaten that before?
You know what? I'm actually going to say because of your history, you probably would have. You know that these are considered a delicacy for subterranean creatures.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab that.
Typically, they're very good to eat by themselves, though you can cook them. It doesn't add very much, but it adds a little bit for those who prefer their food warm.
And you said it was purple? Something was purple on it?
It was a white
purple
mushroom with purple spots.
White mushroom, purple spots.
Yeah.
I grab it.
Okay. You can put that you have one of those in your inventory. You could have potentially found more, but 5.
Yeah.
That means he found 5, right?
No, that means you're lucky you found 1.
That was how many mushrooms I found. 5.
So, you make your way down through these winding tunnels. It's a few hours of walking before you come across what appears to be almost like a crack in the wall, but it looks slightly big enough to actually fit through. And inside you can see what appears to be light coming from there. Not a lot, very faint light. All 3 of you make perception.
Ooh, 18.
7.
Good job, Ilo.
I'm doing it, guys.
And all 3 of us crit again.
So, I'm gonna say Zai and Ilo, the 2 of you just, it's a crack and you can see a very faint light coming inside, but nothing really else. Shiara, you very, very faintly hear breathing, but it's almost imperceptible. You're not sure if it's actually something else breathing, or maybe it's one of the people in front of you breathing. It's hard to tell.
She goes, shh, shh, shh. Quiet, quiet. I think I hear something.
What?
Shh. Quick, hold your breath for a second. I think I hear something. She just rolls her eyes and kind of like puts your ear up to it. I think I still. Answers that question. I think somebody's in there. Maybe sleeping? I don't know.
Ala, you want to go in there invisibly and check it out?
I can only do that once. I've already used a lot of magic today.
No, you haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we blew
We
up
fought
and healed
today.
us.
That was yesterday.
Oh, fuck, you did. What?
You guys slept
No,
on the
that
way
was-
here.
No, but then they got here and did
Blew up
something
the
really
lawn.
stupid.
And
Oh,
We
yes,
crossed-
you
we
guys
crossed
blew
the
up
bloodstreams.
Yep, you guys crossed the bloodstreams. I forgot about
Yeah.
that. Disregard what I just said.
After that, I'll only have first level slots.
well, do you get your stuff back on a short rest?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay, if you don't want to waste it, then just try to sneak in there. You're the smallest of us, probably least likely to be noticed.
That's true. I'm very sneaky. I'll try. And he hops down and he goes and does the sneak.
Alright, make a stealth roll.
Spoop. Oh, why is it at disadvantage?
Your armor. You have your
Shit, I do.
armor.
What the fuck, Neil?
That's correct. Still a 17 though.
Okay. You very quietly wriggle your way through this crack and into the chamber beyond, trying to be as quiet as possible. Inside, you find a slightly narrow tunnel that goes on for maybe 5-10 feet before opening up into a wider chamber, about maybe 10 feet by 10 feet at most. You can see light coming from in there. Making your way through, you find that inside of the chamber there appears to be a very faint and very small fire made. And I'm going to bring in our guest to describe the figure sitting at the fire.
What? There's a guest?
What?
Hi, Valanda. You want to do us a favor and describe the figure sitting at the fire?
Mind blown. Being that I'm a sneaky person, naturally I would set myself afire. What you see before you is you see a dwarf. A dwarf with scraggly red hair.
Oh my god, no!
Deep blue eyes.
Oh no.
They look a bit thin, except their upper torso and their arms, which look stacked as hell. They're just wearing a loincloth. Or it may possibly be a bigger piece of material that they've just wrapped around their groin. You're not really sure, but this is apparently all that they're sitting next to this fire with, because someone said I was starting off like this.
Uh-oh.
I assume I've noticed.
Huh?
Did you know she was a dwarf?
He told me. He said
I
you have
told
to
her.
be a dwarf. Yeah.
Well,
You have to
okay.
be a dwarf. Yeah.
Oh,
That's not what I said, but all right.
No, you were like, you have to be a dwarf. You have to be named this. You have to do this. So he was pretty rigid.
That's me.
Probably.
Fucking with you. All right, now I can join in the Roll20. Can I perceive this small thing? Apparently, I lit a fire, so
It's a very small one, and it's because you are wet and slightly uncomfortable from things.
sure, I will go with that. Oh gosh, there's music.
Yes, you can roll a perception,
that.
since I assume you are on alert.
Yeah,
Of
there's a
course.
dwarf in front of you.
I think your audio is coming from two places too now.
Who?
B.
Oh, is it coming from Discord
coming
Roll
from-
20?
I've never heard Roll20 pick up
I
audio
always
like
turn
that.
mine off.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
disable
yes,
it as soon as I get in.
Yep. Well, I only had a
There it
character
is.
in here for like 2 hours.
Yeah, it resets the thing when you join a new game.
Yeah. All right. Perception check.
Okay.
Okay. 9.
You are unaware as you are
Join the crappy perception club.
warming up.
Can I be eating some of this mushroom stuff?
Sure. Yeah, you
Sweet.
probably were the one that found the rest of them and was like, oh, fuck yeah.
This is the greatest thing I have ever eaten in my life.
So, Ilo, you find a dwarf sitting in front of this fire and eating some of those delicious mushrooms.
Oh boy.
They do not seem to have noticed you yet.
I'm also completely unarmed. The only thing I'm wearing is this loincloth and maybe the stains of like white and purple mushrooms.
This might be the fastest guest appearance ever.
Ilo approaches with his weapon drawn.
Like approaching with inside or sneaking up on her or what?
Um,
Or him?
approaching. What do what? What's your question?
How are you approaching the dwarf?
With my weapon drawn.
Like,
You're still
Stealthily?
sneaking though, so you
No, I'm entering the light.
okay,
Okay.
so, Gil, you see a small lizard-looking creature with pale skin and a gleaming metallic silvery-looking dagger approach out of the crevice and step into the light.
You say weapon drawn?
Yeah, he's
I
Holding
grab
it.
Go on then.
Oh boy.
he's holding it and he's eyeing you. He's not like moving to attack, but he's holding it kind of
Ready.
red. Yeah.
Hello? Do you want some mushrooms?
I've got one. Got one of my own. Thank you.
Oh,
What are you? What are you doing here?
what am I? I'm clearly a dwarf.
I know you. I can fucking see that.
Oh, great, your eyes work. I don't think I've ever it. Sorry, it's been a very long time since I've spoken to someone who isn't in charge of me. Please join the fire and make yourself at home.
In charge of you how?
Sometimes you get involved with the wrong people, and bump, like 100 years of your life have gone by digging tunnels.
Oh yes.
I'm not digging
yeah,
tunnels
your
anymore.
people.
Thank
Yeah.
fuck for that.
Yeah, your people were the wrong people for that sort of thing.
Yeah. See, people think that the greatest strength of the dwarf is digging holes under mines. The greatest strength of this dwarf are his guns, and I'm just gonna like do the arm pose thing, like huge great fucking muscles.
No, that's what kobolds are for.
Where did you come from? If you're heading that way, and I point behind me, you're gonna be heading back to a terrible place. You do not want to be going back there.
We're here about the water.
Oh yes, the water. It's water. It flows.
But it should not be down here.
That is correct. That would be the 100 years or so of digging tunnels. And he just like shrugs.
Zai and Shiara, at this point, the two of you can hear that there is conversation going on.
I think I'm going to go through. Considering that we haven't heard Ilo scream in horror, or somebody else scream in horror, I think it's okay.
Well, also, I haven't heard any cries of pain. Pretty sure that takes out any kind of monster or dwarves, too.
What? You guys keep mentioning these doors. What do the doors have to do with anything? Damn.
I
She
don't
just
really
shakes her
doesn't like
head.
dwarves.
She's not even like she's not really asking a question. She just kind of like says it out loud, shakes her head, and starts to like crawl through this little crevasse.
All
I'll
right.
follow after her.
The two of you make your way through this crevice and find yourselves now in a much more cramped 10-foot by 10-foot space, now that there are two big people. Gil, you see...
Are these friends of yours?
Yeah, you see Ilo with his knife out at a dwarf that's unarmed by the fire.
Shiara
Like,
like
she does regular glove.
like Shiara crawls out and is like, I don't understand this whole dwarf thing. Like, I don't know, whatever. Like, see,
Oh, you
Like,
have a
looks up.
mademoiselle.
and she just
Really?
looks up and sees the dwarf and looks back at Zai. Thank you so too soon.
Oh, you have a mademoiselle amongst you. A pleasure. Enchanted. I'm just gonna go over and take her hand.
She
Just gonna
just
get down to
like,
one knee and give it a good kiss. It has been a very long time. You are very beautiful to this old dwarf eyes.
It's probably been a long time for her too.
Then we seem like a match made in heaven. No?
she's
Like,
just
like the beauty of your face.
like she doesn't resist, but she's also just this look of like half kind of blush, half like, what is happening? I don't understand.
Please, I have saved the best mushrooms for the love of my life to walk through the crevasse. Come on, come sit with us. I'm
Is that-
completely like blanking everyone else now.
Zai's just sitting there, like, staring in confusion at the dwarf that's still perfectly fine.
Yeah, you saw Ilo with his blade out, and then when you came through, like he was like a dog getting caught doing something wrong. He like puts his knife away and scurries back up your shoulder, and then he's like hanging on your back, like peeking over the shoulder, just like eyeing the dwarf now.
Just, like, whispering. Anna, you okay? That dwarf doesn't have any injuries yet.
I don't know about it.
Well, look at you learning not to stab first.
Look at me.
So what is a pretty lady doing in a shithole like this? I'm trying to offer you as many mushrooms as you
Oh,
can
right.
have
She's,
now.
like, I think she's like taking what you're giving her, and she's just like, what? I don't really. She's like, she's holding things like very confused and just.
I'm just gonna start taking them from Shiara and eating them.
like,
Oh, there's
don't-
another companion of yours. Please
Don't-
come sit by the fire.
I'm already sitting by the fire. Just like, I just walked in.
I can't really answer the question very well. I quite frankly don't know. I have found myself having a very strange day, or a few days at this point.
Maybe what you're really doing is walking to me.
Only if you're the one that stole the water.
That was me, but it was more of a forced situation than one I had any control over.
You're gonna have to go more in detail there about being forced.
Well, you see, somebody turned up. Well, I accidentally got involved in some rough people. I might have been thrown here as penance for someone's daughter, but it doesn't really matter right now. And lo and behold, I was forced to dig these tunnels for about 100 years until I managed to escape very, very short while ago.
Who made you dig them?
Yes. Hence why my arms and chest are very strong, which the ladies love, do they not? And I'm gonna give her a good, punch on the arm. Makes it easier to sweep you off of your feet.
She kind of looks at you and it's like, I can fend for myself, thank you.
Yes, but there's nothing wrong in taking a little help every now and then.
She just looks back at the other two like,
I just shrug.
So back to my original question. I appear to be making, the other two gentlemen here, very uncomfortable. Clearly have designs on you too. So what are you people doing here in this place? I mean, I am trying to flee, and I thought, well, better make fire to cook up some mushrooms, but what are you people doing here? You should be going in the other direction.
Why?
Because the people I escaped from, people who held me in captivity and forced me to dig holes, there is a very mad, strange wizard in charge of them, and he is very scary. It is not good. Yes.
Scary, you say?
Yes. I mean, I am not scared of anything, really, but,
Why'd they want you to dig the hole? I mean, I guess it's to get the water, but why'd they need that?
They were moving the water to a place. I don't remember exactly. Hang on, I have to eat some of this mushroom to try and remember.
Checks notes.
Check notes.
Scribble on the bottom of
yes, I have a very specific memory of why I needed to dig this hole. The memory is I have no fucking clue. I don't know. I just know that the wizard made me dig his tower. Wizard's tower? Mage tower? What do you call it? Witch's tower? I'm not going to be pedantic. Inside some sort of really big rock structure from ceiling down to ground, stalactites, and made me dig a bunch of holes into random places, and I got very angry when I found a specific place which had purple liquid at the bottom. And he was like, no, you have to go away, and then I almost died that time. Oh boy. And then otherwise it's just digging holes to move water. Needs lots and lots of water. This is all I know. This is all that I can't know. I was just trying to find a way to leave. Took me a while.
purple liquid.
Purple liquid, yes. Can you elaborate, please?
It was a mixture of blue and red, which I think makes purple. And it is not quite rock, and it is definitely not air.
Well, fair enough.
I can
It was
see
at the
how
end.
you're charming all the ladies.
It was at the bottom of a very, very deep tunnel, and he got very mad when I found it, said I could never go back there.
Huh.
And I have not been back since. See, if I want to keep this pretty face, I have to make sure I don't piss people off too much.
Of course.
Well, now that you've escaped and it can't hurt you, maybe you could tell us where it is.
I could probably take you back there, but I don't want to. I mean, explaining it to people who, no offense, are not dwarves is very difficult. I mean, we always remember where we put our feet, but...
Could you just draw a map of this whole place?
I think this place is very big.
I have a lot of paper.
Well, that is good, because there is also charcoal here left over from fire.
I have ink and a pen too. Because I had a nerd friend.
Wait. Oh, what are you planning to do?
Well, we need to figure out why they're taking this water and see if we can kindly convince them to fix it.
Wizard will not go for that, he is a dick.
Then we force him to do it.
Yeah,
It is,
we kindly convince them with weapons.
Oh, that is your plan?
And magic. And she holds up her hands, and using her control flame cantrip, like 2 balls of fire come out of the campfire, and she just kind of like holds them.
Well, you have certainly cast a spell on me. You started a flame in my heart.
I'm about to let Ilo kill her. Him.
So I gotta look over at the other
just,
two like, this is how you jump her.
She just squeezes her hands and the flames extinguish, and just kind of like looks at you with this kind of like, don't know what. You are
Well,
a very
if you are-
strange character.
Oh, trust me, it is it is better than being beaten down by the man. It is not fun. So I refuse to let them put out my virile spirit. Vital spirit? Happy. No, I'm gonna go with virile. That's probably the correct phrase.
I see.
But your plan is to go kill the wizard?
I mean, we don't per se have to kill him. He just needs to fix this big hole in the ground.
I don't know.
Well, if he's as disagreeable as you're saying he is, then killing's probably what's going to be happening.
Oh, let us be honest. Killing him is probably the only. I have to tell you, he looks exactly like an old wizard that you would expect. Maybe I could take you with him. Maybe get a little revenge of my own.
Literally the only old wizard Zai has ever seen is Eli, so that's now the picture.
Oh no.
He is a like a half-elf guy. He has a big scraggly white beard, like little bits of greyish whitish hair out of his head. Wears lots of robes and big fucking pointy hat.
Minus the hat, sounds pretty much like Eli, and that half part, but still elf, close enough.
Who is
Eli
Eli?
didn't have a beard or any of that. He was a very dapper old man.
This is probably Eli's, like, long-lost grandson, let's be honest here.
All wizards look the same.
Well, half us look the same. This fair. Okay, so if you want to go kill him, I could take you there.
Now that would be most kind.
I mean,
I
if
would
anything,
like to
we
make.
need him to fix the hole, and I'm sure we could force him to do that before we kill him, if that is what it comes to.
Well, at the very least, we wouldn't be able to fix it with him still alive, because he just put it back. So we have to take care of this at some point.
I'm going to go out on a very big limb and say that there are a lot of slaves. I could not have dug this all on my own.
Think the slaves will help us or fight us?
I think they are a mixed bunch. Some of them will fight us, some of them are not content, but very, very scared.
Okay.
But I can take you to him. But do you have any spare weapons? I'm a little light right now. And literally just like shows he's only wearing a loincloth.
Buck-ass naked, sans loincloth.
Yeah.
Really
sounds
depends
like
on what you use.
it. Anything light.
So you just escaped.
Yes.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Is that a problem?
Oh no, I was under the assumption that you escaped, and my confusion was why you were hanging around so close.
Because I have literally had to like do things that no dwarven male should ever have to do. And now I am here and I've just made my way out. I was just stopping for the night.
Oh.
Gil, you know that there are other things of fearful note down here besides just the Archmage.
Okay. There are some fuck off big monsters down here. They are
Wow.
unpleasant.
Might want to avoid them. I already mind letting this gentleman borrow one of your knives.
Okay, fine.
Do you have
I
two
don't-
I could borrow?
You look at Isla, he just has knives sticking out from every direction.
Sorry, he's not a small little dude. He's just like a ball of knives. He's just like a cloud of knives. He's just in a small
You're not
dude.
sure where the knives end and the scales begin.
Pretty sure he has like, what do you have, like 6 in a sheath along your back?
I started with. I have 6, yes.
And then you've picked up
and
every
then
single one we've found since.
and then the 7 total because of the dragon scale one.
Okay.
God.
I'm not asking for any expensive blades, just
Yeah,
two really small, shitty blades. Anything
he
blind.
he's gonna hand you one out of generosity, and then when you ask for 2, he just squints at you, and you can just clearly see them on his back because they're in like an arrow quiver. They're just kitchen knives that he keeps on in an arrow quiver. And
I don't know, if you don't get it back, I'll make you some new ones.
he just is like eyeing you down still, and he hands them to Zai to hand to you.
Oh my god.
I will hand them over.
I appreciate it. You're a very strange little one. Not going to lie. Ah, shit. Open the wrong... Ah, fuck. Okay.
He is a very strange one. I have not known him long, but he is strange. Something about dwarves. I can't put my finger on it.
You like dwarfs? Sorry, I don't swing that way.
No, don't
I don't
think.
like heroes either.
You have problem? I mean, we could talk it out right now.
Anyway, you were showing us where we were going. Before... Sorry, interrupting this moment before it ends with Milo stabbing him.
I like put the knives. Did you give them to me like any shoes or anything, or they're just bare blades?
Just bare blades.
They're kitchen knives.
Oh wow!
Quite clearly.
I just put them like because I've tied this random ass piece of cloth around my waist. I'm just gonna try and slide it in either side, and I have to pull whatever like arrangement I made just like even tighter, just hoping that they'll hold the blades in place. It's so dumb. Okay. Well, you all look ready and fresh. You're more healthy than anyone I've seen in a very long time, other than a very mad wizard. Let us go this way. And I take them to the wizard's tower, because I assume that's where the mage is.
So you know that the tower from here is probably at least 2-3 days of...
Oh shit, it is a very long way away. I'm very sorry.
careful travel. You could get there sooner if you go at a quicker pace, but Gil, you know that would most likely draw the attention of other things.
Okay, we can either risk a lot of danger and get there very quickly, which I would prefer because then I can get out of here quicker. You know, many ladies, many people to make happy. But we could go very carefully and not get caught. Well, these are kind of our options right now.
Our middle option.
We go not quite as fast, but faster than walking. I think you call it a stroll. Not quite a jog.
Well, we have a place we need to get back to at some point, so hopefully we can get there a little bit quicker. I like this stroll option as you put it.
Wait, let us stroll.
Okay, so the way I laid it out is the typical travel rules. So there's a fast pace, a normal pace, and a slow pace. If you go at a normal pace, then it's going to be probably about 2.5-3 days to get there. If you go at a slower pace, it's probably going to be more like 3 to 4. But you'll be able to stealth your way there. Or you could go at a fast pace, in which case it'll probably maybe take you like a day and a half. But you're going to take a -5 to your passive perception.
Wait, so the only difference between normal and slow is like half a day?
Yes.
How many days was it going to be for the people to show up at the keep thing?
You guys are, I believe, 9 days away. Yes,
Okay.
you are 9 days away. Well, you're not... From when they're going to arrive is different. They're going to be leaving on the 30th day, so you technically have a little bit longer.
Yeah, I don't see why we have to rush.
Yeah. Well, we can go slow, so I'm going to take half a day more.
Whatever.
Better than dying against whatever you say is down here.
A lot of nasty things. I pissed off a lot of things on the way here.
Oh, good.
Well, it's not like they were like, hey, I think you're an asshole or anything, but it was more like, oh, I noticed you were here. And I was like, oh, I better run.
Fair enough.
Well, let's make our way trying to avoid those.
Alright, so you guys are going to travel at a slower pace. Valanda, since you are the guest here, roll me a d4.
Does not sound good to me.
Okay. And if I could get a stealth check from everybody, please.
We are
Oh,
level
good.
4, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh my god. So we have a nat 1 and a nat 20.
Okay.
Look, we average out like above average.
just barely. That's like 12 average, 11 average, off the top of my head.
Way above that. Like, the nat 1 and the nat 20 cancel each other, right? So you left 11 and 19, that gives you 20, so that gives you, 30.
That is
So that gives you 50.
51 total.
It's an average of 13.
Yep. 12.75, so 13. Yep. Okay. So you guys take the rest of the day, making your way through these tunnels. Gil, leading the way, I assume.
Of course. These fuckers don't know where they're going.
Essentially showing you guys the proper routes to take. The bends in the river seem to go off into tunnels that don't have walkways, but Gil's like telling you that there's a passage off to the side here that's a little bit concealed. And it winds back, going around, going above the river, under the river, zigzagging. It seems like whoever orchestrated the creation of this tunnel really didn't have a floor plan and kind of just pointed in a direction and said, go that way.
That may be my bad.
But after several hours of traveling, you've gone maybe 6 hours in of the 8 hours total before you'd probably want to take a break for the day. And Gil, you find yourself standing at a fork in the road, so to speak. Which is confusing to you because there was not one here the day before.
Oh, good.
Cool. So, with my knowledge of stone cutting, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been down these tunnels for like 100 odd years.
Uh-huh.
I've probably seen all the other slaves like do their work and stuff.
Yep.
Could I tell from the patterns of this tunnel being dug out who dug it? Like whether it's people who in my head were friendly towards the mage or not friendly towards the mage.
You know his name, it's Pete.
No.
Of course. Petra, sorry.
Absolutely not.
Petrov?
So, thing is, Gil, you already know which direction is the right direction. The other direction does not look like it was dug the same way that you guys did. This looks a lot more rough-hewn, not made with picks and shovels and chisels.
Dynamite?
Doesn't look like it. This looks like it was either claws or teeth.
Oh. Well, we are going to move very carefully in that direction. And I point away from the fog, where it looks like some horrific... I don't want to panic my new companions. I don't want to make them scared, so I'm not going to tell them. I'm just going to go this way.
Don't bring out the PTSD in my character, please.
You're
So
welcome.
the two of us who are already experts at like looking at mining things, do we notice this?
You guys would notice that there is a tunnel off to the side that seems to have baffled Gil and then made Gil very concerned. And does not look like it was made by people.
I just say, well, you're right about there being some nasty stuff down here.
Oh yeah, not I lie. But we should definitely be going this way.
I agree.
Because this tunnel was constructed very, very quickly, like yesterday.
And it doesn't look like it was made by people either.
No, you're very correct in that. But no need to panic. We just need to walk in this direction. Maybe a little longer than we initially intended.
Let's move. I really do not want to get stuck under the ground again. I do not want to get eaten.
Okay, Shiara.
Again?
Roll me a d20.
What's your AC?
Damn it.
What's your AC? No.
10. The answer is 10.
It's a 9.
Okay. So you guys continue on your way?
Sure.
Alright. So you continue walking down the path you know to be the correct pathway. And maybe 15 minutes into your walk, or quiet walk, we'll say, down this tunnel.
You're strolling.
Strolling, yes. Stealthily strolling. The four of you make perceptions.
God, man, I am on fire right now. It's a 21.
Okay. Gil, you're pretty sure that you're really hungry because you hear a rumbling and you're like, oh, fuck, I need to eat more mushrooms.
Fuck's sake, I gave all mushrooms away to a pretty lady. This is what you get for just following a pretty face.
The other three, you hear a rumble as well, but you're almost positive that it's a lot bigger than a dwarf's stomach. As big as they are, something just rumbled and it's a lot bigger.
The top half of me is bigger. The stomach area is much, much smaller. Emancipated dude.
Everybody else heard that, right?
That was me, sorry.
I don't think that was you.
I don't think so. She'll look behind him, and with her 120 feet of dark vision, does she see anything?
So everybody here has seen Lion King, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
All
I've
right.
seen a lot.
You know the stampede scene where you see the little rock pebbles that are just going.
Oh, yeah.
You can see that some of the loose rock that's along this pathway is starting to. And you hear something rumbling, and it sounds like it's pretty close. You
Now,
don't see
is
anything
this, Is this just a pathway, or are we following the river?
though. Currently, you guys are following the river.
How fast is the river going?
Oh, we should have just made a boat.
Pretty fast, honestly. The river is at a decently steep angle the way it's flowing.
So probably jumping in it would not be a good idea.
You could. It would be faster. You would have a very hard time stopping.
Water slide.
Or preventing yourself from flying out into God knows what.
I would know it is at the other end of this, though, right?
I don't mean God knows what like that. I mean, if you hit a particularly sharp turn, which there are many, it's going to be very hard to stop yourself from flying out of the river. And potentially spearing yourself on a stalactite.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Or wall.
So we should either run or stay very still.
Yeah, Shiara is just she turns around, sees this, and just kind of slowly points. I think we should run. There's something coming.
Well, let's go.
She like does like the thing where like she like holds up like a bit of her dress and just starts to run. We need to go.
So, this river, I need to know about the banks of this river.
What about it?
Is it steep? Is there a decent amount of bank before the water?
The way that you had basically been instructed to dig this river to go down is that it's essentially like this.
Mm-hmm.
Of water just flowing down that. So
Okay, so how
it's-
much of that side wall is just wall and not actually have water?
Maybe a few feet at most.
Okay, well, I'm only a few feet tall, so that's excellent. Most people here are real short, yeah?
No, I'm not.
No. Ilo's the
Okay,
only
two of
short
us here
one.
are real short. Alright,
Shiara is what
cool.
average.
alright. And do these people look... I probably would have, like, scoped them out over the last few days. Scoped and checked out over the last few days. Do they look like well-equipped travellers?
Well, I gave you kitchen knives.
two of them probably. Shiara does not look well equipped at all.
No.
So Zai, you notice, definitely looks like your typical warrior. Very powerful build, very gleaming, silvery-looking weapon. The small kobold creature looks a little bit scrawny, but you saw the dagger looked quite menacing and well-made. And then the half-elf, well, you know that she can do magic, but she's not really wearing anything very protective.
Okay.
Does the river have an opposite bank?
Where you are currently, yes.
Okay. How wide's the river?
The river is about, like, 10 feet.
Hey.
We have options.
The rumbling
let's
is
run.
getting much closer.
Run. We have options if it's undoable.
Alright, so the three of you, since Isla was riding shotgun, are running?
Yeah. We have to stay
Okay.
with the lady.
So the three of you break stealth and just book-ass down this tunnel. And within a few seconds of sprinting, you hear the rumbling get much louder and closer. And as you are running down this tunnel further and further into this Underdark, you hear a loud burst and explosion of rock and rubble behind you.
We'll get back.
Yeah, Shiara looks back.
For those of you who look back, you see a large circle, many rows of teeth, a deep gullet, purple skin lining it.
Fucking fuck.
Is
I
it-
have a question. Any of you have piton and hammer?
Oh, what?
Why?
Pythons? Pitons? Well, there is the. I assume we're running, by the way. There is a river.
Absolutely.
If we put them in, we can just hold on till the purple one goes past. I think running away is a bad option. I mean, look at that! Look at the teeth!
Yeah, how much tunnel is this taking up?
All of it.
Including the river part of it?
Or actually, I should say, because this tunnel is actually fairly wide. It's basically taking up the entirety of the river, so that you see the water kind of, like, bursting around it in sprays, as it's essentially now riding down this, like, chiseled pathway where the river was. The
Then-
water has stopped, and now there's just Big Mouth.
Okay, now that that's the explanation, I would not be suggesting that.
Is it on the other side path?
No, currently it is riding the river canal itself.
Oh, then we can just stay here.
And this creature is essentially a 10-foot diameter.
Oh, it is literally. It is taking the water slide! If the river is 10 feet wide, it's 10 foot diameter, it's just going down! We should just. I'm just gonna grab everyone and just hold ourselves back against the side of the wall, because if it's going down the river, it's passing us, so I'll grab them and pull them against the wall. Stay very, very still, do not make a sound.
Apparently we're stealthing again.
I'm gonna need stealth from everybody, please.
Can
Oh,
I-
good.
Jesus.
Can I
I'm
cast
good.
silence when she says don't make a sound?
Sure.
Okay.
I will
got
keep that
better.
in mind for the difficulty.
Oh, Jesus, we are going to die.
Isla,
Correction.
you have to save us.
You
have to
people are
save
going
us.
to die.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. That was with armor. It doesn't matter. That was the first roll, anyways. Okay.
That's 31,
Very
47.
bad.
11
You can just
Okay.
blame that on Shiara's screen.
Actually, that. Oh my god.
Did you say she's about to scream?
We're in silence.
I'm assuming that.
You click the silence spell just so I can see that.
You can't hear anything inside of it and no sound leaves.
Yes.
Oh,
That's
it's,
what it is.
It's in a area.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Shiara's screaming, but no sound makes it.
I'm gonna put my arm around her waist. Let her know everything is okay.
Okay.
Oh, wait. If there's no armor penalty because that's just all clanking because we're in silence, can I have a 10? Because that was my first roll.
That's fair. Technically, it doesn't matter. You guys made the... This thing has a terrible passive perception.
Good.
So the four of you slam yourselves against the wall, and Ilo, you quickly create a sphere of silence around the group of you. And you watch as this giant purple creature comes careening down this canal and just barely passes by within a foot of you guys. And just... and goes down the canal, maybe 20 feet before you see it turn to the right, slam into the wall, and just start burrowing through the stone.
Oh, God.
After about a minute of waiting, as essentially the entirety of this giant worm-like creature passes by, it disappears into this new side tunnel, and you hear the rumbling fade away in the distance.
No, we don't. We're in silence.
We never heard the rumbling.
No sound can be created with her. Oh, pass through. Okay, so you don't hear that. I take it back.
So you can't hear, but if you look, Shiara is like she's just like screaming bloody murder at this point. The whole thing.
I just, after it's I just kind of tap Shiora on the shoulder.
She just kind of like, finally, she just kind of like lowers her hands around. Like she's mouthing, "We're alive."
Ilo, are you dropping the spell, or are you gonna leave it?
I'm leaving it because it's funny. He looks quite amused.
I'm gonna say something, it's not gonna come out, and so I'm just gonna walk outside the bowl of silence.
Yeah, it's just 20 feet. You can just leave it.
Okay.
I'll shut it down when I'm done with my fun.
She's like,
I'm just like delicately stroking circles into the small of her back.
she is not. She's just like not even realized at this point. And then finally she'll like detect magic and go, just like this moment of duh, and then just follows Zai out. And like the second that she gets out, all you can see is she's just stomping around. She is not a happy camper right now.
Shiara.
I figured out what made that other tunnel.
Hey, Shiara.
Yeah, no kidding. Yo, what?
Roll me a stealth with disadvantage.
Why a stealth? I'm not stealthing.
Because I'm trying to give you a chance to save your ass right now.
Well, if 20 will do anything. That's a 13.
You think you faintly hear some rumbling come generally back towards you, and then it fades away.
She just looks down this new tunnel. I should go somewhere else. I do not want to be here anymore.
I'm just gonna put my hand up, like I'm gonna just put my finger up to her lips, like.
And then Xyle's is gonna like start stealthing again.
You see like a small blush at that point.
I just put my hand down to her heart, it's like.
Ooh.
A lot more blush at that moment.
And then I go stealthing with everyone else.
The
I don't know what's going on right now, and I'm very confused, and I don't want to be here anymore.
The remaining 2 hours goes by without incident. You make your way traveling along these tunnels that Gil knows well enough. Making sure to keep an eye out this time for any errant tunnels that don't make sense that they shouldn't be there. Eventually you find yourselves in a small, more open cavern. It's maybe 20 feet high, probably about 40 foot in radius roughly. It's a bit jagged and uneven. There are stalactites hanging down from above. The river comes out and then drops into a waterfall, maybe the 20 feet down, and then continues to flow down into a tunnel. So essentially, in the center of this this small cavern, you have a pool of water where the river is flowing again.
This was a bastard domain.
Okay, so you're saying that this path is going, dropping down, and then continues to the bottom of the waterfall?
The path itself that you guys followed led you into this cavern down like a side ramp,
Oh,
but you're essentially in a cavern that has the river coming in, dropping down into a waterfall, and then continues on.
okay, cool.
And of course, the pool that the water is falling into definitely looks man-made because it was.
Dwarf made.
And so you say that you don't know what this whole mess was for?
Not a clue, just except that this very strange wizard needed a lot of water.
That is kind of strange. This is a lot of water.
Yes, it is.
A lot of moving water at that.
All I can think is that maybe he just wanted an in-house shower, but don't need this much water for it.
I mean, at that point, just a spell would do the trick.
Perhaps he needed more than great water could produce.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is that he's using it to power something with the force of the water, but
That or trying to cool something.
well, either way, that is either a very big thing that is being cooled or a very big thing that is being powered.
Yes,
Oh,
either way, it is not a great concept. I do not know what he is doing with it. I never got told. I'll just use for my arms.
That's not very comforting knowing this is so close to Ivy Bridge.
Well, we could always just ask him once we go find him.
Well,
I'll be right back.
It's for real estate.
Maybe he just wanted a riverside view.
all this work.
Come see my mage tower. It's built within a stalactite. Next to it, there is a beautiful river view. I don't see that going down very well.
I'm curious.
No vacation homes in the Underdark?
No.
Roll 20, quit being dumb.
Yes.
So in relation to Ivy Bridge, what direction did we head to get to this place?
Make a survival because you are underground and not accustomed to this sort of travel.
I mean, like,
If they came from Ivy Bridge, I'm a dwarf and basically always know where the fuck I am. Would I not know?
You don't know what Ivy Bridge is.
You definitely
It's a
don't.
town, right?
No, you don't know.
Okay.
You especially would not know what Ivy Bridge is. Because you've been underground for the past 80 years.
100 years.
100 years.
Okay. Roll 20. Character sheet. Oh my god. I keep having to close my character sheet out because everything turns white.
It does that to me sometimes, and then if I just kind of flail my mouse around on the character sheet, it comes back.
Yeah, that's what made everything white.
Yeah, and then you do it again and it comes back.
It didn't do it though.
Oh.
That's a 17. Wow.
17. The best of your understanding, you kind of have been going down in like a spiral pattern. So you really haven't been going that far from where the initial hole was. It's just been kind of
Right.
very
where was
errant.
that in relation to Ivy Bridge?
Northwest.
West.
North. Okay.
Northwest.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So if you're looking at the map, you guys, the hole was roughly here. And actually, you know what I could do?
You could put a hole there.
There we go.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I guess it was wrong. Makes. Cool. Okay, yeah, that's all I was wondering.
Alright, so what are you guys doing? You are in this cavern. It is about time where you would make camp.
We are continuing on, are we not? I mean, it's only been 8 hours.
Yeah, I'm down. I only need 4 hours. Oh, never mind. I'm a half elf. I do need to.
Well, it depends on if there's anywhere else further ahead to make camp.
Is there?
To the best of your knowledge, there are definitely a few, like, small pit stops areas. This one is a decent location just because the waterfall makes enough noise that other creatures would not likely hear you. The only thing that you would have to be careful is being on the river itself. There is obviously the risk of other creatures coming and drinking.
Yeah.
But you run that risk
this
no
is-
matter where
this
you
is a
go.
hot spot. Yeah, this is more of a hot spot than anywhere else. Like, people would know this place to come and stop because of ideal location. Versus a pit stop further down where people are more likely to just pass through to wait to get to the big waterfall.
It's a question of secrecy versus comfort, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
This would be the comfortable place.
Nah, fuck it, we move on.
How much further are you guys planning on traveling?
Until we have to roll exhaustion rolls, and then not that far.
Oh, then that is a good few days.
I mean, like I said, Shiara slept for several thousand years. He's good.
Well, you are going to start rolling exhaustion if you go on for more than, 2 hours at most.
What?
8 hours.
Traveling 8 hours, and then we do 10 hours, we then have to roll exhaustion. I'm a slave. I probably work 16-hour days. This is nothing to me.
I worked 20-hour days.
I worked, I go to sleep, I work again. There's no going home, there's no eating, there's none of that crap. It's just get up, go to work. Go to sleep.
I mean, perhaps for you, but not for these pampered adventurers.
So pampered.
I believe
Wow.
it's, if I recall correctly, the actual exhaustion rules are based on your con modifier.
Yes, they are.
So however many hours beyond your con modifier is how long it takes before you're going to have to start rolling.
Let's check what my con mod is then.
I have a +1 con.
I have 2.
I probably have 1. I think. Yes, I have 1 because I couldn't be bothered to put any more points in it.
And Ilo?
I'm not walking.
That's a good point.
Ilo just has been sleeping on my shoulder.
I'm all right.
That's fair. Your mount is getting exhausted.
my mount can get exhausted, yeah, but that's why I'm staying out of the conversation.
Are you gonna get mounted combat
Yeah,
as a feat?
You can make
So
them
you
attack you
actually
instead
don't
of
have
me.
to get off.
I know I'm dying. Get on my shoulder and make them attack you instead.
So you guys could go on for an hour before 2 of you would start making rolls, and 2 hours before the third would.
I mean, this place, at least we have the sound blocking things out. So I think Shiara would vote for that, because she don't want to deal with that fucking purple worm.
Oh, say it in character then.
So, unless you know of a better place, I think that this would be the best place to stop for a little while. At least the waterfall kind of should keep us safe as far as sound goes. So hopefully the she motions behind. The worm does not attack us. I do not want to get eaten today or tomorrow.
Well, if all of you need your beauty sleep, then we should stop.
That might be for the best.
So you guys are going to make camp?
Yeah, thanks.
Apparently.
Okay. Are you guys setting watches or anything?
No, not at all. Who would do that? Definitely for sure.
I have to ask.
I swear to God, if you attack me on my fucking 20 perception check, I'm gonna get real mad.
Well, what is the order?
I'll go first.
Okay. Just wake me up whenever.
I will go second.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, Isla has to go fourth
Why?
for breakfast reasons.
Oh. You are right.
Shara can go second.
I'll take that then.
Could I have been picking mushrooms along the way for
I
breakfast?
definitely need to be helping you. Unless it's the route in which I came and I've stripped all the mushrooms.
Make a survival. See if you can find more of the delicious mushrooms.
Nope.
Nope. Ilo, from your perch on Zai's shoulder, you're not really getting much of a look. You can't really find any of the mushrooms. Gil, even as you're walking along, every once in a while you're like, ooh, I'll take that. I'll take that.
You roll in nature and find out the mushrooms only grow below shoulder level.
It's just something I've just noticed as I've been walking along.
It's much easier to see when you're lower to the ground,
Yeah.
obviously.
They're exactly eye level from me. Oh, boop, boop.
Alright, so, Zai, you're taking the first watch?
Perception,
Please.
amazing as always.
Oh boy.
Okay. It takes you a very long time to really acclimate yourself to the dark, being that you're wearing goggles that you're not quite used to using for this extended period of time. Looking around, it's a bit off-putting seeing things aren't quite as colorful seeing them with dark vision. It's more grays and different shades. Don't really see a whole lot, though. You kind of just see the river flowing off in the distance. You can see the waterfall crashing down into this pool. After probably about an hour 45 minutes into your watch, before 50 minutes before you'd have to wake up the next person, you faintly hear something in the back of your mind. And it seems to just kind of sit there for a moment before you hear, "Who are you?"
The fuck?
That's probably just my imagination. I ignore it.
You hear again about a minute later.
Don't ignore me.
Did you just leave me on red?
What are you?
I showed you my worm. Answer me.
Like, when someone thinks something at you, you can't really, help but to think something back sometimes. Like, someone asks you a question, you think of an answer before you even say it. So, just, unconsciously gonna go, Dragonborn. I think in a southern accent, by the way.
Of course you do, because you think with whatever your voice is.
Well, howdy.
Dragonborn.
Now, if I might ask, voice in my head, what are you?
Die.
Okay. That's not exactly what I asked. Boy, that seems bad. Why are you dying? What?
Food.
Well, next question is what do you eat? There's some weird things down here, like that giant worm that came past earlier.
I need food.
Well, you see, that didn't answer my question at all. It's like if you eat people, that's going to be an issue. Because you also never answered what you are.
Waterfall.
You are the waterfall.
Behind the waterfall.
What the fuck?
See, now that makes way more sense. Now, what do you need for food? Can I just bring you like some rations? Do you eat rocks, mushrooms? Well, I'll see what I can do for you. I'm gonna shake Ilo awake.
What?
Hey, I need a little bit of food and then for you to come with me.
No. Why? Can't you wait until breakfast?
Because there's this thing behind the waterfall that says it needs food.
Ugh. Why did you... You went to the waterfall?
Nah, it's talking to me inside my head.
Does it want to eat the dwarf?
It said anything. But we kind of need the dwarf right now. We're going to get super lost, so... What kind of food do you just have laying around? I guess I could give it a ration. Or some of those mushrooms.
I have a mushroom. I can look for more again.
Well, let's see if that will be enough for now. We can come back and give it more if that works. I also need you to come with me, so if it tries to eat my face, you can come get the rest of this.
Okay.
And we head down to the waterfall.
So
Should
the two of you are going?
What were you saying, Isla?
Yeah. I was gonna say, should I look for more mushrooms? I only have the one.
Yeah, I'll look for more mushrooms on the way down.
Okay.
It is a
'Cause I
wet
could-
environment. There could be more.
I could send out the unseen servant to look for...
Nah. We don't need to waste that amount of time to cast a spell. I don't even think I know you can cast it as an action. You've only ever cast it as a ritual.
Pretty much.
So what are you guys doing?
Walking down to the waterfall looking for mushrooms as we go.
Alright, then either both of you make survival or one of you with advantage.
I only have a +1.
I have a +3.
Okay, go for it.
So roll with advantage then.
You have been awake longer than I am. I'm not excited to look right now anyways. Yawning.
16.
Looking around, you find a few damp, humid places, little crevices and corners of the cave that have a few mushrooms growing.
I'll just take them as part of my offering to the telepath.
Alright, and the two of you are going to make your way to the waterfall?
Yeah.
Alright, so, making your way towards the waterfall and the pool, you see that there is a very narrow, maybe foot-wide path that goes towards the back of the waterfall. Going behind, you can see that there appears to be a very roughly hewn, just a slight alcove, no more than a couple feet in. And crumpled on the floor in this alcove, you see that there's this very pale bluish gray creature just laying there. All skin and bones, it looks to be. Bulbous head, yellowish eyes that are sunken into its head. Several tentacles where its mouth should be.
It's Cthulhu.
Oh my god. What the fuck?
Clawed hands that are very narrow, and you can pretty much just about see the bone protruding. wearing pretty much just a strip of cloth around its emaciated waist. There's really not a lot to this creature. It is on the brink of death, essentially. And it's laying there, staring up at the two of you, and you hear it say into your mind, Zai, "Food."
Oh my god.
Brought you some mushrooms.
Oh my god.
You see this creature reach a very weak hand up in the air, shaking towards you.
I just put a mushroom in its hand.
It takes the mushroom, grasps it, slowly brings it down, and you watch the tentacles lift up. And you see this circular hole with a row of pointed teeth.
I like that worm.
You just see it chomp down onto the mushroom and start ravaging it as it consumes it.
Yeah, Onyx doesn't want to be. Onyx doesn't want to be here. Zai doesn't know what this thing is. I give another mushroom. I will keep doing that until I am out of mushrooms.
It essentially reaches out and just takes all of the mushrooms and starts ravenously shoving them into the hole under the tentacles.
Now, you don't want to eat things that fast. If you eat them that fast, you're going to get sick, just throw it all up again, and you're going to still want to be hungry.
It pauses, looks at you for a moment, and then continues just shoveling all the food in its mouth.
I just shrug.
Oh my god.
Thank you.
Well, it's the least I can do. You gonna be okay?
Perhaps.
Now that wasn't a yes.
Why are you here?
Oh, there's some wizard who stole all of the river, and we kinda need that back, so we're here to deal with him.
You see the tentacles writhe in discomfort, and it kind of just...
Well, it doesn't really look like you like that wizard too much either.
I was a slave.
Ah, we have one of those back up at the camp too.
Fuck.
You see it slightly nod its head. There were many of us.
Some dwarf named Gil, something like that, I don't know.
I don't know.
I didn't think I was gonna have to... Okay.
Oh my god.
Look, we've all learned from the giant floating balls of light that I trust everything.
True.
I know of the one you speak.
Oh, you do? Must be a small place.
There were 20 of us when I escaped. That was months ago.
Seems like this Gil escaped just a few days ago.
Found me as I did.
Well, you kind of escaped. You're now kind of, stuck behind a waterfall and dying of starvation. How'd you end up being back here for that long?
It grew harder to find sustenance.
There's like mushrooms everywhere, dude.
It's too weak.
Okay, I guess that's fair.
Longer it takes to find food. Longer it takes to get to it.
Well, yeah. Anyway, what are your plans now? You're not like in immediate danger of starvation.
Can you hear this? What are you talking to?
Yeah,
I
Isla,
told you
you've
it's
been
talking
standing
in
there
my
and
head.
What the fuck?
Well, says it no skill, that it escaped a long time ago, and that it was real hungry.
Oh. No. Okay.
Anyway, what were your plans? I mean, you're not starving to death anymore.
to survive. To
How do you feel about killing the wizard?
find my way home. A wizard.
Yeah.
If you bring me to him, I will make him regret taking.
Well, that sounds like a good plan. You should come with us, because we're heading right towards him.
I am still too weak to stand.
It's okay, I'm used to carrying people.
Oh.
You
God.
see the beady yellow eyes look at you, look at Ilo, and then it nods slightly.
So, mind if I pick you up?
Proceed.
Yeah, Ilo hops down.
I will proceed to princess carry him all the way back up to the camp.
Okay. Gil and Chiara are still sleeping.
Yeah.
Oh,
These
God.
are your companions.
Well, that's Gil. You already know that one. He just joined us recently. I don't know if he's going to be sticking around. Seems like he has some ladies to go woo or something along those lines. That's Shara. She's actually with us, yeah. She's from Ivy Bridge, if you know what that is.
Make an insight check.
I don't like it.
10.
I gotta roll.
Look, Zai's bad at secrets, okay?
You see the tentacles on its face kind of wriggle a bit.
Can I infer that I might be surprised?
It's either surprise or just a means of acknowledgement, but after a moment you hear, "Oh, I have not heard this place."
Well, it's not too hard to imagine. It's kind of new. Well, and old. It kind of disappeared for a couple thousand years. Now it's back. It was unburied. Anyway, we're trying to rebuild it. We're going to be looking for some trading partners. That's why we're down here. We need the water. That river's gone. It was totally diverted down to here. I need to work on getting food, too.
Here's my social security number. My address.
Remember that time I made friends with a will-o-wisp?
What's your name? Here's my social security.
It's not like we're trying to hide Ivory Bridge. I mean, it's a whole city. You can't hide it very well.
If it's all the same, you can put me down now.
Oh, yeah. I'd put him down. Try to make it comfortable, but it's kind of all stone floor, so I do the best I can.
It thing kind of just lays there, doesn't really move.
I'm gonna cast the ritual, and have it go get mushrooms.
Just Have
Fine.
bring it back to him.
Okay.
Find edible things.
Roll me a d20.
19.
It finds 19 mushrooms.
Hooray.
Hoorah.
And you said that I know that these aren't very good for cooking and whatnot?
They're only slightly better when cooked.
Do we have a fire at all?
Do you have anything to burn?
Uh,
You can try to find some
rocks.
stuff to burn.
We burn rocks.
Nah, if we haven't started a fire, I don't think you would. So
I mean, we don't really want to attract things. I'd imagine we don't
Yeah.
have a fire.
yeah, I'm okay with no fire. Yep, I just feed him mushrooms then, I guess.
Okay, you give it a few more mushrooms, and it takes them greedily and one by one starts shoveling them into its creepy hole mouth.
Well, thanks for coming with me, Isla. You can head back to sleep. I'm gonna wake up Shiara for her watch.
Okay.
Isla, you lay down and go back to sleep. Shiara, you are awoken by Zai.
Oh, Shiara, we have a new friend.
What? What do you mean?
Shiara,
can
maybe 5
find-
feet away there is this creature laying on the ground.
If you can find any mushrooms while you're on watch, he's real hungry and be real thankful for it. Yeah. Yeah. And you have pointy ears.
Yeah, no, that's not that's very outlandish.
Yeah. He's something. That's what they have.
Huh.
Shiara, you see the head turn to the side and look at you very slowly, and you hear in your mind it say,
She like
I can hear you.
hi. You have tentacles on your face. You know that, right?
Yes.
And Shiara, do you know that you have pointy ears?
Zai, you don't hear this. Unless, Shiara, are you speaking out loud when you reply? This is very important.
I mean, if it's speaking in her mind, I think she's enough to know to think her reply back.
Then yeah, Zai, you just see the two of them looking at each other and you have an idea of what's going on, you just did it.
Okay.
Um,
I stick my head next to Shiara, see if I can hear it.
I'm gonna go with no, because that's not how telepathy works.
Zai doesn't know that.
I know.
I don't know magic. She says to it, I just wanted to make sure that you knew you don't look well. And I've never seen someone with the tentacles. And is that normal, or did somebody do that to you?
That is how I am.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's fine then.
Completely interrupting because I can't hear anything. Well, if you can find any mushrooms, or any food really, he's real hungry. I'm gonna go to sleep though. Talk to you in the morning. And I just go lay down and sleep. Completely unconcerned about everything.
Huh. I'm just going to be sitting over here watching. If you need anything, say so. And she's just kind of like, is it still just like staring at her?
It hasn't moved its head, so yeah.
She kind of like, just kind of like scoots off. Kind of like, it's like the awkward exiting the conversation without knowing how to. She does want to go over to like like where the place is gonna move on to the next like tunnel.
Yep.
And she kind of like looks around, and she's gonna cast minor illusion to make it seem like on the other end that it like dead ends into a rock wall. And then she's gonna go down and she's just waiting.
Okay, give me a perception.
16.
Excuse me. Your watch goes by uneventfully. You see that the creature that is now laying on the ground at the camp is not really moving. Just seems to be content to lay there. You can see it very barely breathing. Beyond that, though, there doesn't seem to be anything jumping out at you or anything.
Right. I think there might be like a moment where she kind of gets closer to kind of get a better look at the creature. But she doesn't want to like get in its personal space. She's just kind of like, it's kind of like trying to look at something from afar. Just, and she doesn't want to like come up and poke it with a stick or something, but she does, she's trying to get like a better look at it.
It looks emaciated. It looks malnourished. It looks very peculiar with its tentacle face and bulbous head. I'm gonna take some liberties here and say that it only has 2 toes on each foot.
Okay. She just kind of shrugs and goes back down.
All right, who are you waking up next?
Gil, I think, is next.
Okay.
Yo.
So there is.
It is wonderful to be woken up by you. It's like coming from one dream into another.
Do you say this to all of the ladies?
Only the ones that I feel true passion for in my heart.
And is that all of them? Very well rehearsed.
It is not rehearsed. I assure you, this is all completely ad-lib, straight from my heart.
Gil, you hear a voice in your head go, you haven't changed at all.
Wait, where is Steve?
No.
I don't know what his name is.
That is not even close to his name.
It's Pete. Pete, where are you?
It is.
No, his name is Azel. A-H''Zel. And Gil, you would know that.
Azel, my friend. Was he my friend? Did he used to beat me up? Did I used to beat him up?
It was one of those he fucking hated you and you loved to pester him sort of things. At least that's how I imagine how you were.
I love this guy. He's here?
She just kind of like points over there to the pile of thing.
Pile
Hey,
of
how are
gray
you
flesh.
doing? You're not dead yet.
No. So Gil, to give some background here, you know Azel from your time as a slave. You know that Azel was a slave, but was kind of like a taskmaster slave.
Oh, here's my boss.
He was a slave put in charge of the other slaves because he has certain brain things that you don't really fully understand, but know that they really hurt.
Oh, then fuck that guy. No wonder I like to annoy him. You managed to make it out and you're not dead yet. Why aren't you on the surface?
I ran into difficulties.
Like the giant purple ones?
Lack of food.
Well, don't you know, but there are a big bunch of mushrooms around here. They are everywhere. I mean, they are far easier for me to see because they're exactly at my eye level when you're far taller, but occasionally people just need to look down.
If eye rolling could make a noise, you would
How
be
many-
hearing it right now.
How many times has he heard this?
I found 19 of them within 120 feet of here, so.
So many.
So after like a moment of them doing this like brain talk, Shiara just kind of goes, I'm just gonna go lay back.
Oh, I am sorry. Yes, you should get some rest. Not that you need it. I assume you're always beautiful.
He just like,
Okay, so what are you doing now? What's your plan? Because we're off to go try and kill the wizard. As stupid as that sounds, but
That is what I have been told. If I can be a part of his demise, that is all I need.
I think what you need is a lot more food. If we take you with us, you're going to slow us down. No offense, but you look, well, as disgusting as ever, but you look exhausted and disgusted as ever.
Give me a few hours of sleep. I should be fine.
Okay. But I tell you, if you try to do that mind thing on me again, I'm probably just going to stab you, because I do have knives now.
No promises.
Then no promises, I won't stab you. I'm glad to see you made it out alive. All things behind us.
You're still pain ass.
I know. But I'm still a hit with the ladies. Did you see how well I was doing over there? I do the rest of my watch.
So it eventually, after a little bit, you see Azel seem to fall asleep, and you take your watch. Give me a perception.
Sure. $11.
Okay. Your watch goes by uneventfully. You, looking at Azel occasionally, see that he appears to be very deep in sleep, as if he hasn't gotten sleep in a very long time. The rest of your party similarly seems to be deep into their snoozes. Nothing really jumps out at you. It's a pretty tranquil place with the waterfall.
Alright, I wake the little one.
Ilo, you are awoken.
Okay, by a dwarf. We didn't plan this properly.
Yep.
Hello?
Yeah.
Wake up. It is time to wake up.
Yeah,
Your
Ilo wakes
watch.
up very quickly and takes a defensive position.
I
He
feel
doesn't
like you
seem
and
to
I-
like. He doesn't seem to like to talk to you without having a knife with him at all times.
I am not offended. I feel like you and I need to talk this out. You realize that I am not a complete asshole. I mean, I don't know. I feel like we got off to the wrong foot, but I don't know what I did. I mean, is it because you have designs on the go? I mean, I can step back. I mean, I know I'm naturally very, very charming, but if you've already attempted to woo her, then I shall step back. I mean, pros before hoes.
If what you're saying is true about what you've been doing down here, then I once did a similar thing, and I once killed, and I did the same thing that apparently you are doing, killing all the people who were behind making me do things.
Well, Well, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I'm definitely more of a lover than a fighter. The wizard has a particular level of being, a particular level of hating him. And I would not consider ever killing anybody normally. There are far more fun ways to spend your time. A lot less bloody ways too.
Where are you from?
I'm from a place far, far north.
Of course you are.
Somewhere within a mountain, I assume.
Mm-hmm. And then I think you know the rest.
Yes. I'm sorry to hear that you were also a slave.
Hey, that's fine.
It is
I
not
got
easy.
out.
That is my plan too. And if you help me get out, then I will owe you a great debt.
He just kind of looks at you and walks away. He doesn't really know how to feed the conversation more. He doesn't really want to. He just eyes you and keeps his distance.
I give him a hearty wink and then go to sleep.
Okay. Ilo,
Mm-hmm.
give me a perception, please.
Yep. 15.
All right. Taking your watch. Doesn't really seem to be much going on. You notice the strange tentacle creature very deep in its sleep. The rest of the group similarly sleeping. There's really not a whole lot going on down here. It seems very quiet.
Yeah.
Something you're probably a bit more used to, being that you've had to do shit like this before.
Yeah. I'm gonna do the unseen servant thing again. Gather as much mushrooms as I can once again. You want me to roll for the mushrooms or?
Roll a d10 this time.
Okay.
Because you're basically deforesting this area of mushrooms.
Yep. 2.
You gather another 2.
Okay. Then I take all of the mushrooms that haven't been eaten yet, and I'm going to chop them up and take bits of rations and. Can I like wrap the? I imagine rations I kind of make them into not a bacon, but just kind of like wrap them around the mushrooms to make some kind of a protein to go with the mushrooms a little better.
Sure. I like the sound of that. You're essentially doing, what is it, the water chestnuts wrapped in bacon.
Yeah.
Which is fucking delicious. Oh my god.
He's doing ration wrapped mushrooms, a good delicacy here.
In the Underdark, yep.
In the Underdark.
Okay. The rest of you awaken to the smell of ration wrapped mushrooms. You see the tentacle creature weakly sit up, looks at the bunch of wrapped mushrooms, and kind of like half reaches a hand out, and then looks at you, and you hear, "May I?"
Sure.
You see it reach out its hand and just grab a good like half of the pile and just start pulling it across the ground towards it and cramming it in its mouth. You watch the tentacles, like, as it puts the first one in its mouth, the tentacles start, like, flailing all over the place, and then it keeps shoveling them in.
And we're all awake at this point?
Are you from the ocean? I've seen things like you before. Just not like people things.
We're all awake right now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you see this happening.
Yeah. She's like, she does the thing where like she's about to eat and just sees this and kind of just, I'm suddenly not very hungry.
Oh, if you're not hungry, then I'm sure that me and Asia will eat it. I mean, look at them, he is starving.
It is fine.
I reach over, take the mushroom.
Just like take it.
I break it in half and I give half of it to my friend.
Hey, Isla.
Him eating does not put me off at all.
She just kind of shudders again.
Ilo, what languages do you know?
Oh god, I didn't fill that part out, huh?
Oh my god.
Why are you surprised? Why
I'll,
are you surprised?
I'll say
Common?
Draconic, obviously.
I'm
for
pretty sure
race.
that's the race one, yeah.
Common, and then if I know anything, well, actually, do I know any Dwarvish? I know probably just a couple commands because I probably wasn't taught any formal Dwarvish. I probably know commands more than anything, or just any like particular words to whisper to listen out for. And I would say that I probably know a slight bit of Elvish from what's her name?
Callie.
Callie. Yeah, I thought I started with an E. I could. Yeah. So those three would be it.
Got it.
Dwarven, not so much. Probably just a couple slurs.
Okay. You see the tentacle creature open its mouth and very weakly says something to you, Ilo, but you don't understand what it says.
I just kind of look at it and what?
You see it tilt its head to the side, somewhat in confusion, and then in your mind you hear, I said, this is delicious.
Oh, thanks.
This is very unusual for your kind.
Yeah, probably so. Well, I mean, definitely so. You should see me in the real kitchen.
Perhaps when this is over.
Sure.
So what are you guys doing? Also, thank you for the follow. Who was that? It disappeared.
Who knew?
It popped up saying someone followed, and I can't see it now. Well, whoever you are, thank you.
I think Shiara is probably like standing by the doorway to the next tunnel and just kind of waiting on everyone to get ready.
I really have nothing to get ready.
Oh god. Wakes up, then I'm ready.
Pretty much. Do I stop my blades? Yep. I have all my weapons? Yep, I'm good.
Do I have my loincloth? Yep.
Yep. Do I have my daggers? Do I have my weapon? Do I have my loincloth? Check. We're good.
After a moment, Zai, you hear, do you have rope?
Well, yeah. I think I have one more coil.
This is going to be a little demeaning for me, but I haven't regained my full strength. And you watch as the creature on the ground slowly begins to lift up into the air and right itself to a standing position, and seems to just float a few feet off the ground.
Do you require some sort of help?
Wrap the rope around me.
Can I do so? Around the waist.
You wrap it around the very narrow waist and tie it off. And he just kind of looks down and then just gives a nod. I will remain floating so that you may pull me along.
Well,
rope.
that's even easier than carrying Ilo around everywhere. Why? around like a kid with a balloon.
Shiara is just standing there like, huh. He knows magic. Not expect that either.
It stays floating a few feet above the ground as you pull it along. There's basically no resistance as you pull. It's as if you're pulling air.
Oof.
And the group of you make your way further down these tunnels.
I'll look for mushrooms as we walk.
Yep, same. I'm always looking for mushrooms.
Oh,
You
she finds
find
all the
a
mushrooms.
very thick cluster of mushrooms. However, they're not the ones that you were expecting to find.
These are purple with white spots.
No.
Damn.
Whereas these ones were the normal ones were the white with the purple spots that are the delicious ones. These ones appear to be a dark yellow, almost bordering on orange, with what looks to be brown, like sunbursts on like a sunburst pattern, coming from the center and branching outward.
Cool. How tasty are they?
Make a nature. Unless you're just gonna pop one in your mouth. You're familiar with these mushrooms as well. They are extremely rare. Oh my god. Hello. Thank you for the raid, Dungeon and Dragon. Party of 17.
Hey!
Welcome to the party,
Goodness.
friends. Adventurers Raid. Welcome.
Gosh.
We're currently scavenging for mushrooms and dealing with a floating illithid on a rope. So stick around for the shenanigans. And seriousness. Lots of seriousness. So, the mushrooms that you've found are much rarer. These are typically considered a poisoner's delight, in that these can be brewed into very specific kinds of poison, most often used in paralysis.
Sweet. How difficult is it to turn them into that?
If you are not a trained alchemist, very.
Balls. Alright, well, I was specifically looking for things I could eat. I'm definitely taking all these motherfucking mushrooms. Or correction, I'm gonna basically get all the mushrooms and then look at everyone else who have bags. Like, these are very, very good for poisoning people, like to, paralyze them.
Oh no.
Shiara's like, you can put some of those in my bag.
And you're an alchemist?
I have dabbled here and there. It's been a while, but
Well, these are probably good for you then. Hey look, I'm giving you even more mushrooms.
You
Everything's been a
have
while for you.
You have 15 of these mushrooms. Shiara put them in your inventory as sunburst shrooms.
sunburst shrooms. Okay.
Yep.
There's the added button. And you said 15 of them?
Correct.
Cool. Got shrooms.
Alright, so making your way along these very narrow tunnels, the river flowing pretty much dead-centered down these tunnels as you make your way further and further into the Underdark. The air itself getting much thicker, much warmer. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. The air itself begins to become a lot more humid, a lot more misty in places. And I assume that the 5 of you are now traveling at a stealthy pace again?
Yes.
Alright, so then I would like the 4 of you to make stealth checks. I am going to say that the Mind Flayer on a rope does not need to make a stealth check because he's not touching anything.
Wow, I just beat Ilo.
Okay.
Ilo rolled a 5 and a 6.
And
Didn't he? Hold
for
on.
the hell of it, because I like rotating the rolls, Zai, why don't you go ahead and roll me a d3, please?
1.
Okay. Interesting. So, the four of you make your way down this corridor, this long, narrow tunnel that's roughly 10 foot high, about the 20 feet wide, with the 10 foot, I don't know, I forgot the word. Channel, thank you.
You're welcome.
The 10-foot wide channel where the river itself is flowing deeper into this Underdark, splitting the two side pathways. What is the marching order? Gil at front, I assume.
Yep.
Then Zai and Ilo with the Illithid behind us.
So Shiara is in
Behind
the back.
Behind the Illithid.
Oh, I don't like that, but yep, that's
All right.
what's happening.
Okay. I just have to make sure. So, Gil, Z, and then E riding on top. And then fucking tentacle monster on a rope. And then Shiara. Okay. I need all four of you to make perceptions, please. And actually, I'm gonna have Azel roll one as well.
Oh, there's my bad roll. That's a crit fail. 4, 3.
Okay,
20 is done being nice to me for the...
Someone has wind in their mic.
Yes, a lot.
that may have been me. My bad. I fixed it. Okay, and let's see. So, 8, 3, 15, 19, and Azel got a 16. And I need to make a roll. Nope. Okay. So,
Oh boy.
all of you except for,
Shiara.
except for Shiara, notice as you're walking along that there's a very dark black spot on the ceiling ahead of you, maybe 10 feet away.
Look, there's a dark spot on the ceiling.
Gil,
Thanks,
you
it.
have not seen that.
I haven't seen that.
That was not there before. You see it now. It wasn't
I
there
see
the
it now,
last
that's
time.
what-
okay.
Yeah.
How high
That's
is the
what's not
ceiling?
there.
10 feet high.
I poke it with my glaive.
Like, just a light, like, little...
No, I'll stab it.
Make an attack roll.
There's not supposed to be things on the roof.
That is true.
Had enough
That
scares
was not there before.
giant purple worms. 10 for 7.
Oh, and it's slashing damage.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Oh no.
What
Okay.
have you put off?
Alright. This is what we're doing.
Here we go.
Well, you definitely hit. I'm gonna need everybody to roll initiative, please. As you see, Zai, where's my battle music? There it is, battle music.
It's okay. I have other weapons.
6.
Okay,
God,
I
what
need
the
to pull
fuck?
up the initiative tracker. And I have to... Zai, Ilo...
Also, it's a +1
Shiara.
because of the bard thing.
I thought you had found out that it was in that already.
Gil,
I don't know.
Azel...
No,
Yeah,
my
it's already in there.
+4 +1.
Yeah, it's already on there, dude.
No, I know. I said Azel, not Gil.
No, we're talking to Neil.
Oh.
I'm not talking to you, man. Not everything's about you. No, we're mocking him for Jackal Tread.
I don't know how Roll20 does things.
Alright, Zai, what'd you get?
14.
Ilo.
25.
Jesus Christ. Shiara.
6.
Amazing. Gil.
19.
Okay, and then I need to roll for Azel and the Black Pudding.
Yeah. Fucking black pudding. Damn it! I knew that's what that was.
It stays at a 0. And Azel,
Wow.
buddy. Let's see, what do you get?
Minimum's a 1.
It's just funny as hell that it's... Oh my god, Azel, why? Alright, well, Azel still goes... Azel rolled a 1, but a +1, so at a 2.
Still for the monster, that's what's important.
Yep. Descending. Okay. So, Zai, you take your glaive and you take it and just stab it up into this black mass on the ceiling, and you watch this black mass split down the middle from your glaive stabbing into it, and it drops to the ground in front of you, and you see these two separate black, gooey, blobbish things. And as it falls down in front of you, it kind of rises up and just starts moving around and jiggling.
Did I see that there was one piece and I cut it in half?
Yeah, one might say that you just cut it in half, and now there's 2.
Yeah, as long as I saw that he did that, there wasn't just 2 up there.
Ilo, you are the first to respond.
Okay, they haven't attacked yet, and I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. So Isla just goes, "It's so ugly," and that's vicious mockery.
Are you targeting the one on the left or the right?
Let's do the left.
Left, okay.
That's
Needs to
only
make a
2
wisdom save.
damage.
Fun fact
Wow.
about these creatures. They're
They're
not
good at
wise.
anything.
They're not wise.
Wow.
Or
So that-
dexterous.
No. So that takes 2 psychic damage and it has disadvantage. I'm gonna need you to remind me, please.
Okay. And that's all that I'm going to do
Fantastic.
until we start actually stabbing them.
Okay. In that case, Gil, it is your go. You see this two black puddles of gross.
Sweet, merciful juice. I am going to run my ass over there to stand behind them, but between them. You see what I mean? On the other side, between them. They're going to be between me and the group. And I'm going to poke one with my dagger, and I'm going to poke the other one with a dagger.
Alright, which one are you hitting first? And
Whichever one's been viciously mocked.
that would be the
it's
one on the
fine.
left.
Yeah, let's viciously mock that motherfucker first. Plus my sneak attack damage. So 12 damage in total.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, boy. And then offhand, I'm going to poke the other one, which I think is not including
Hang
my
on 1 second
ability
before you
modifier.
do that.
Alright.
Oh god.
Because this didn't apply for Zai because of reach. It applies for you.
Does it?
Roll me a d8.
Sure. 2.
You take 2 acid damage as you stab into the first one
Can I ask why?
because of its corrosive form.
Is it a reaction?
It
No.
splashed you.
Okay.
Basically, you stab your dagger into this creature and the blade digs into it, and as you stab, part of this black sludgy material that makes up its body splashes out and hits you, and it hits the dagger. The dagger now, until it is repaired, has a -1 penalty to damage rolls.
To damage.
Yes, not to attack, just to damage.
Alright, I'll edit that in a minute then. That's 2 damage, you say?
Yes,
Uh,
two
I've
acid
got them
damage.
once. Cool. Alright.
You did 12 damage to it. Very nice.
Oh shit, that's a lot of health.
Okay,
And offhand. Fuck it, I'll start the same one.
you're gonna stack the same one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, go for it.
11 to hit.
That'll hit. Roll me another d8. You take another 7 acid damage, and the offhand dagger is now -1 to damage.
Yeah, and I believe the damage is only 1 anyway. because you don't get my ability modifier for the offhand.
Correct, unless you have a fighting style, which I don't believe you do.
No. Rogue.
So an extra 1 damage.
Yeah. I don't think I can sneak on that one, so
No,
we're good.
you can only apply it once a turn.
Sweet.
Okay.
Go for it. Go.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm done.
All right.
Oh wait, can I think? No, that was my bonus go.
So in that case, Zai, it is your go.
So seeing as the whole splashy thing didn't work out so well as now there's more of them, how much damage would it do to hit the thing with the butt of my glaive? Like kind of reverse the grip and just hit it with the haft.
I would say... You could make the attack as an improvised weapon, since it's not technically the way the weapon's meant to be used, and you don't have the feat, I believe.
In that case, no, there's not a chance I'm doing that. I switched to my pike. And then I move a little bit to the left so they're in a line and breathe fire at them.
Oh.
All right.
Forget that you can do that.
Yeah, where is it?
Dragonborn!
For a whole 5 damage.
They need to make dex save.
DC 12.
Yeah, this is gonna be real good.
Well, they both failed. They both take 5.
Okay. And nope, they do not have any immunities or anything. So they both take 5 damage. Very nice.
Then I will use that thing. So if they hit me, I get to hit them back.
Bonus action: when a creature hits you, you can use your reaction to make a melee weapon attack. Okay. Noted. Anything else?
No.
My music stop.
No, it's still going.
No, it's still going.
Stopped on my end. No, I don't hear anything.
It's real low right now. It's just like these little beats of drums and stuff.
Weird. Anyways. Then in that case, Shiara, it is your turn.
All right. She's gonna stay. How far away am I from them?
You are...
So I was in the.
You're about
back.
20 feet back.
Okay. 60 feet. All right. So Shiara, just kind of stands there. Her eyes kind of like darkness, and you just hear this weird mutterings under her voice as she casts Dissonant Whispers.
On which one?
The one that they have not.
So the one on the right?
Yes. And why?
And it needs to make a wisdom saving throw. Okay. That is a horrid failure. So the one on the right takes 3d6 psychic damage, and it has to run the fuck away.
17.
And I hit it with my pike.
That is almost maximum damage. Damn.
I know.
And it's gonna provoke an OA from me.
Yes, it is.
Shoot from me
So-
too.
My
Yes.
spell's not doing it.
13.
Question: Do you allow
17.
the Do you allow sneak attack?
Yep.
GTs too. All right, sweet.
Funnily enough, it stops 10 feet away from us because it can no longer move.
What was that? Whisper?
V, go ahead and roll your sneak attack damage. Because you both definitely... Okay. Okay. 19, 17... That's 20... That's 36 damage?
From me?
No,
No,
total?
it's 15.
Nineteen.
19 from us, and then how much Kyle did.
36.
So 36 total. Okay. Gil, since you're the last one to hit it, how do you kill the one on the right?
Nice.
I stick my dagger into it, and I give it a good swirling around, and then I just like flick it into the water.
Okay. And it goes careening into the water and turns into a black puddle of water and ooze that flows down the river. And Zai, You take 7 acid damage, but your weapon is not
It's
damaged.
I still hit it from 10 feet away.
Oh, yes,
It's
you
still
did.
range.
So disregard that. In that case, Gil, because you were in range.
No, always.
Ooh, that's 8 acid damage. And the
Sweet.
dagger that you hit with has another -1. So the dagger's at a -2 now. Travis, come on.
Just the damage, right?
Correct, just to the damage.
I glance over and see Gil's daggers, and I just kind of grimace.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
My music has stopped working.
Still going. Now it stopped.
There we go. Now I'm hearing it. Fixed it. Okay. Alright, that was Shiara's turn. It is Azel's turn. Azel is going to... Azel is smarter and is not going to get anywhere near that thing. Azel is going to grab onto the rope and pull his way towards the group of you and angle himself leaning to the side so that he's not directly behind anybody. And you all see this distortion in the air and this kind of concussive force that blasts out in front of you. The creature is going to make an intelligence save. Because it's real fucking good at those. Oh, it almost passed. Okay.
Jeez.
Alright, so you watch this concussive force blast out from Azel, and you watch this black, blobby ooze that's in front of the group of you just kind of quiver and then into the ground. We are out of initiative.
Shiara just looks at this creature like, okay, what was that?
Did
No, she's looking. Yeah, she's looking at.
At Azel?
Yeah, she's just like, whoa, what was that?
Those are called black.
No, the
pudding.
reference is to Azel, like to what he just did.
He doesn't know that. This is in character. You just said, what was that? He's going, they're black puddings.
No, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about what you just did to them.
Do your people not know of mine? Do you not fear the things that are in the dark?
I mean, I don't really fear things in the dark. I kind of like the whole shadow stuff. But I still don't know what you just did to that thing. For someone so weak, that was quite powerful.
There is a difference between strength of body and strength of mind.
She just kind of looks down her tiny little arms and just like, I am very aware. I just have never seen someone do that, whatever that was. It's very impressive.
If you ever do, will likely perish.
Well, thanks for the warning. She just kind of like walks around. She's like trying to at this point, walking around the group.
Okay, are you guys moving on?
Yeah.
yeah?
Alright. You travel onward. The rest of your trip for this day does not take very long. It's not very eventful. Rest of the journey until you all start to feel that lingering exhaustion, tiredness in your body. You find yourself going ever deeper and deeper. At this point, Gil... Oh, wait a minute, Gil's not here. Gil...
Oh, I would cast Mending Daggers to fix them, by the way.
Oh, interesting.
Hey. Also, I want to see if I fixed that spell earlier. Hey, now it does the damage on that spell. Now if we'll save it.
Okay. Gil, you watch as Shiara casts a spell and your daggers are repaired.
Design, do they look like they're better?
They look as they were when they were initially used.
Okay, so still decent.
Yes. Because mending essentially returns them back to the state where they were in.
Yeah.
Alright. So, Gil, you would know at this point that you guys are probably several miles beneath the earth at this point. You eventually come across what, Gil, you would know to be another resting point where they would have the slaves kind of cram into this small room and everybody just kind of laid on the ground in a heap of bodies. It's another small alcove similar to the one that you guys found Gil in, probably about 10 feet by 10 feet. It's not very comfortable, but it will do for at least somewhat protecting you from outside ears and eyes. Hopefully. V, we can't hear you. Anything you're saying. I think you may have been muted.
There you go.
There you are.
Sorry, you didn't miss anything intelligent.
Okay.
Hey, there's our break room is here, do you remember? Maybe we should go hang out in here for the evening.
You guys had a break room? Fancy.
Well, you say break room. It was more, here is a hole, get in there. You know the type.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not going to let them break my spell. It is a break room. We went digging. Although we did have to dig out the holes.
Well, if you think that this is the best place to stay tonight, then let's go.
It is out of the way of prying eyes, probably the best place we're going to find in a while, so... Sure.
Sounds good to me.
I'll take the first watch. You guys carry on.
You see Azel slowly float back down to the ground, remove the rope, and then just kind of slump against a wall and very quickly fall asleep.
Poor little guy.
I can still hear you.
I'm sorry. Poor little guy. Gilly's just smiling.
Well, if you're up for taking the first watch, then I think I'm gonna head to bed now.
Good night.
Sleep well.
Alright, so Gil, you are taking the first watch.
Yeah.
Give me
Yes.
a perception.
Perception.
Okay. Roll me a d2.
God damn it. Oops. 1.
Okay. You take your watch just kind of leaning against the wall, keeping an eye on the only entrance in. And about an hour into your break, you hear very heavy footfalls coming from further down the tunnel.
I wake everyone up. I just give them all a kick. Wake up, there is something coming.
Oh, what?
Shh.
What is it? What is it?
Be quiet, my beauty. There is something coming. It is not me.
You see Azel is sitting up and staring at the entrance.
Oh my god.
What's coming, GM, before we derail this further?
Is anybody going out, or are you guys waiting?
Oh yeah, I'm having a look. I just wanted to wake everyone up, because, like, if this is an enemy, I don't want to face it alone. I'm wearing a loincloth and 2 daggers.
Roll a stealth check then, please.
Alright. 18.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Okay. You wiggle your way through this small space and kind of very slowly poke your head out and look around the corner, and you can see... How far is your dark vision?
60 feet, mid-dwarf.
Okay. About 40 feet ahead of you, you see this very large creature who's essentially stooped down, slouched, so that its heads doesn't hit the ceiling of this tunnel. It's this big, dark-skinned creature, 2 heads on its big, meaty shoulders. One of them has long, black, stringy hair and a very thick black beard. You see pointed teeth poking out with tusks going in random directions. The other head similarly has black hair, but this one in kind of splotches of hair on the head. No facial hair whatsoever, just a lot of scars and drool coming out of the mouth.
Oh.
I pick up a rock.
The creature is roughly the size of the tunnel. Very large muscles, big meaty arms. You can see in one hand it's carrying what looks to be a very large, wicked stone battle axe. In the other, what appears to be a very heavy, spiky morning star.
I pick up a rock.
Okay.
I chuck it down this channel and try and bounce it off a wall, off of the ground, into the water, and then I gotta pull myself back inside and, like...
Are you throwing it behind them or further up the tunnel?
Oh, further up the tunnel. They're clearly heading in that direction anyway, so they'd be like, oh, something's up ahead, rather than, there's something behind me and then we still have to get past them. No, I'm gonna try and send them away from us.
Okay. Do any of you speak giant or orc?
No.
Nope.
Yara?
No.
I have no need to. There's like a thief's cant at them.
Okay, you hear this 2-headed creature, both heads kind of saying something in a very deep guttural language, just... And you see that kind of gesture up the tunnel where the clacking noise came from. And very slowly, you hear it more than you see it, kind of just... Goof, goof, goof. And it stops in front of the crevice. And you see the one head kind of beginning to turn in your direction. And after a moment, you hear this loud whack. And you see the morning star that was in the other hand kind of in the air club the other head. And you hear the one head going, and it stomps further up the tunnel, making its way. And after waiting another minute, you hear the heavy footfalls slowly recede in the distance.
I turn back to my companions like, well, apparently it was nothing. Go to sleep. And I'll zip it down in the thing.
I just shrug and go back to sleep.
She already never even like. She just like sat up, waited, and then just back down.
It's okay, sweetheart. I have everything under control. Rest easy now.
You see a thumbs up.
Amazing.
Like, as like you turn, it's like yes, she noticed me. It
You
just taken
see-
3 days of trouble, but yes.
You see Azel physically roll his eyes at you and then go back to sleep.
Sweet.
The rest of your watch goes by uneventfully.
Cool. I'll wake up our fighter companion.
Okay, Zai, you are awoken.
Okay.
Good luck. There was a big two-handed thing walking down, but I dealt with it. Don't worry.
Oh, that's what that was all about. Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted you here for backup just in case, but I don't know. Have fun. Good night.
Yep. See you in the morning.
All right, Zai, give me that sweet perception roll.
16.
Okay. About an hour goes by before you again hear the loud footfalls. And you can hear in the distance, this time in a louder voice, the two heads seeming to converse. You can't understand what they're saying, but they seem to be going back and forth. And it sounds like they're coming back in this direction.
Okay. I'm going to sit there very quietly.
Okay. A few minutes pass by as you hear the footfalls getting louder and louder. Eventually, they arrive outside of the crevice, and you hear more talk, which, unfortunately, you can't understand. And after a moment, you hear the sound of, like, grating against stone, and you see an arm kind of essentially fisting its way through the stone.
Sorry.
Stop it. And it goes through the crack and kind of, like, just stops in the room above all of you and is, like, kind of blindly reaching around.
Well, it's much too late to do anything now. So, I'm going to continue to not do anything.
Okay. Who was by the door? I need to know.
I thought all of us were, like, farther away because that's where we sleep.
Noted, then.
How big is this room?
It's like
10 by 10.
feet by 10. Yeah. I imagine we all sleep away from the door because we've been out there and it sucks.
Yeah, this is fine. Totally fine.
I feel like this is the wrong answer.
So you see this hand kind of blindly flailing about, and eventually the hand slams into the ground and starts reaching around. The rest of you wake up hearing this loud boom as you see this meaty hand slam into the ground.
It's just sitting there like this.
After a moment, you watch the hand kind of start trying to pull back, but it's like stuck at the wrist joint, and it's just kind of like and you hear the one head going and you hear this another loud impact, and you hear like a grunt of pain, and then the hand kind of lifts up and then goes back through the hole it made.
While it's doing that, Shiara's like pointing at Zai. She's like,
the hand recedes back through the hole, and you hear more of these voices arguing with each other, and then you hear as it makes its way back down the tunnel.
Oh, Christ.
You guys are avoiding all my fun stuff.
Why would we want to fight this thing?
I don't know.
Listen, I don't feel like getting smushed.
I was just gonna charm it.
I think you have to share language.
Nah.
As long as it understands language, right?
It doesn't say anything about that. It wouldn't be able to understand me, but it wouldn't attack me. That doesn't say anything for you guys, but
Which one are you charming? There's two of them.
Oh my god.
I don't think it works like that,
You
Sure.
can just charm them into hitting each other.
says the humanoid.
Alright, so are you guys going back to sleep?
Hopefully
Yeah.
the person on watch is staying on watch.
Yeah, it's still my watch, I believe.
Okay. Zai, you take the rest of your watch without incident. Who are you waking up?
Shiara.
Alright.
Well, her watch, yeah. Try not to make any noise. Don't want that thing to come back, whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but I really do not want to see the rest of it. If its hand was that big.
Yeah. Well, I'm in to sleep.
Alright, Shiara. Give me that
Alright.
perception roll.
A 4.
Alright.
Oh boy.
You take
she's
your
just
watch.
sitting there, like, she's let her hair out of its braids,
Hot.
and she's just got her little magical comb brushing her hair, like a different stroke, like a different color each stroke.
So nobody's awake to see this, but you brush your hair, you just kind of brush, and it turns like blonde, brush turns brunette, brush turns like a bright red, brush again, it's like pink,
But
brush,
it's
it's
still
like
in shade.
green.
But the whole time it's still only in shades of gray because dark vision.
Yep. Your hair would look really great right now if anybody could tell what color was.
Right.
You
That's
take your
my,
watch and
excuse for a 4 perception.
nothing really seems to happen. There's really nothing going on here. It seems all quiet. Whatever that creature is doesn't seem like it came back this way.
Okay, good.
Who are you waking up?
It's Ilo left?
Yeah.
Unless you're gonna wake Azelle up.
No, I'm gonna let him just rest and do his thing. She is intrigued and creeped out, but she's just kind of keeping her distance. She's like, this is kind of creepy, but I'm really interested. I'm still kind of creeped out, so I'm just gonna stay back.
Okay.
So she will go up to Ilo and kind of gently nudge him awake.
I'm up.
And just for shits and giggles. I'm gonna say
Bits and giggles.
okay, so right now her hair is purple.
Okay. Black and white.
Yeah. Just in future reference. She just like doesn't even
Ilo, you wake up and Shiara's hair is a different shade of whitish gray.
I reach up and I press to digitize it to a different color. There, it fixed it.
For a minute.
For a minute. For an hour.
Probably,
Less
like,
than an
the
hour.
only
Oh, is it an hour?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
hair all because she hasn't like put it back into her braid yet, so it's like this huge mane of hair.
I'm just imagining what's her name from Brave now.
That's exactly
Meredith.
like what I
Meredith.
yeah
I mean.
Merida.
yeah that's exactly what I was going for.
Okay.
Just be careful. There's something big. roaming the hall. I didn't come back this way during my watch, but it was there for both Gil and Zai. So just be careful.
Okay,
Quiet.
yeah, I heard that. I woke up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a little bit more shut-eye.
Okay.
She just kind of curls up. Goes to sleep.
Okay. Ilo, give me a perception there, buddy. All right.
Our perceptions are so bad.
Oh my god.
My...
You take your watch, and what are you doing that you got a 2 on your perception? I'm gonna let you fill in the fluff on this.
I'm looking around for food.
Are you
And
going
that's-
in the tunnel?
But the big thing was,
Yeah.
how successful am I at finding food?
Why don't you roll me a survival then?
Okay.
Neil.
19.
You find a few mushrooms in this little 10 by 10 area. Not many, but there are some.
Okay. I imagine that he's gonna, well, he imagines that he's gonna hear the big thing come back. So I think he'll venture on the other side. Just a little bit.
Alright. I'm
we
going
go.
to give you a fair chance and roll a stealth for this thing.
Yeah.
It has a... No, you don't have to... well, actually, yeah, you do. Okay.
It's a dex check.
Yeah, that's for it making its stealth.
Oh. That's a giant stealth. There's nothing else in here.
It really doesn't. It's not that good. Okay. Oh my god.
I didn't mean to click that.
Right.
I just moved my mouse around the screen and I accidentally hit the click button.
Oh boy, alright.
Damn it, Ilo.
What?
Well,
They
here
need
we
food.
Rilo, so you take a step out into the tunnel and find a few more mushrooms that are scattered about here and there.
Yes.
Cool.
I'll say in total you found 7. 7 more white and purple mushrooms. As you are bending down and picking one up, you hear a lot louder as you look down the tunnel and you see the giant creature and then go, oh shit, it's looking back at me.
Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. So, you want it?
I'm gonna go ahead and say save it because that's a good place for us to end for the night.
You know Charm
Okay.
Person doesn't work on that thing, right?
No, I'm not gonna charm person it.
Okay.
All right, so we are gonna call it there for the night. So let us go around and find out where we can find everybody on the internets and what everyone's favorite part of tonight was. And then we will close things out. So let's go with Kyle first.
You can find me on Twitter at RageKyle with a goofy ass spelling. My favorite part is this goofy ass interaction with this dwarf hitting on me.
That's fair. Full disclosure, I did not know what sort of personality Volanda was going into this with.
I did not expect that at all.
I should have, but I didn't.
I was hoping that one of you, actually, personally, my personal hope was that you were all playing female characters.
Oh my god.
But when it's a guy, it's a woman, like, Oh yes, there's just one of you.
Oh my god. Alright, and Neil.
You can find me on Twitter at Bardic. And
You
my
cut out at the
favorite
end.
part
at Bardic.
at Bardic Martin. My favorite part of any of these last couple is that every day that Isla doesn't kill a dwarf is a win. I deserve some kind of someone should keep track of this and
It's a
Not
time
20
limit.
days without killing a
remind me of how well I'm doing.
I'll put a thing on the bio that says it has been exactly this many days since dwarf has been murdered by Ilo.
Workplace accident.
And then one day it's gonna be like just
one of the kitchen knives stabbed into this notice.
Yeah.
Blood war still dripping down.
Oh, that's brutal. I love it.
0.
Alright, and Onyx.
Yeah, Onyx, you can find me on Twitter at OnyxQWE. And my favorite part was adopting an illithid.
Sure,
You idiot.
definitely.
Definitely not my favorite part. I am
And our wonderful guest, Valanda.
Hey, you can find me on Twitter at blood_BTP. I think my favourite part of this is watching all of your faces as I introduce this dumbass character. Just all of you. Beautiful, beautiful moments.
Yeah.
I also like the illithid adoption. I feel like we're doing good.
So hopefully, Valanda, you'll be back next week to wrap things up here.
I guess I will try and fit it in my schedule.
If not, then we'll talk, and if anything, I can always do the classic of NPC-ifying you. But it would be fun if we could have you here.
I would love to watch you try and NPC-ify this character. Watching you hit on Carl all night would be so funny.
I mean, to be fair, I already hit on Kyle, but it's just more out of amusement.
These are the rest of the things.
Yeah.
Just wait until there's another sexy ball around.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
As for myself, you can find me on Twitter at arch_DND. You can also find me running the Lucky Die podcast Twitter account, which is at TLDpod. If you're not listening to the Lucky Die podcast, what are you doing?
You're wrong.
Because, hey, Neil and Valanda are both on there as well.
Turn retcon the wizard to be a girl.
We do that.
What?
Turn retcon the wizard to be a girl.
No.
I want to see that happen with Gil.
Thank you very much for the follow, N25. I appreciate it. I want to say a huge thank you to Dungeon & Dragon for the raid. Thank you to everybody from the raid who joined us throughout the rest of the session. This is the most viewers I've ever had, and it really means a lot to me, so I appreciate it. I hope to see many of you guys around again in future games to mention my schedule so that you guys will know. Every Monday night we play Dungeon World, sans any issues with our Game Master's laptop. Every Friday night we play Dungeons & Dragons, where I am a player. And every Sunday night you can find me here Dungeon Mastering for this game, Aranthea's Awakening. Beyond that, I am usually every night playing a variety of stream games. I'll play Overwatch, Citadel Forged with Fire, Sea of Thieves, or any other number of games. There's a new World of Warcraft expansion coming out tomorrow, so I might be playing that on stream.
So there goes Arch for the rest of...
No, stop it. But yes, if you guys would like to watch more of the shenanigans that we do, a lot of these guys that you see here are on...
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
It's a new restaurant, bro.
Yeah, just similar to...
it's Ilo's restaurant. When Ilo opens a restaurant, it's gonna be shenanigans.
would you like our
Is it Shinnigan sushi?
slunging tartar?
Shinnigan succulent sushi.
What's that restaurant with all the shit on the wall? Shenanigans? God damn.
Shenanigans. Anyways, enough with our stupid shit. Thank you guys very much for watching. It really means a lot to me. And I hope to see you all next time. And until then...
Okay, bye.